Oh man, here we go. We should be good. We should be back in the building. Y'all know what to do on this Monday morning. It's time, y'all. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We are back at it, looking all crispy and clean for another YouTube live stream and another edition of the ClassE Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE, at patreon.com/ClassEbeats, by the way. Make sure you check the link in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. And we've got a lot to get to today. It's going to be a good time. We get to have a special edition of my favorite segment of the show, I Told You So. When it comes to Shannon Sharpe, guys, we called it. We do not miss. We don't miss when it comes to predicting some of these lawsuits, the outcomes of trials. We just got a lot of common sense. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to get into what's going on with the CEO. We got some news and updates about Brian Kohberger. As many of you know, his sentencing is going to be this Wednesday. We'll be ready for that. And finally, we get to hear, now that this gag order is lifted, what happened with some of the people who were going to be involved in this trial. But before we get there, I gotta say what's up with the people, man. Shout out to the gang. Oh, I just realized I didn't even put the chat up. Monday, man, typical Monday, you know what. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Y'all know, of course, my awesome, amazing Amy is in the building bright and early. We got Les Cleaver in here. We've got Slim Life New Jersey. Let me see if I can get the chat up here so I can shout out some more of y'all. There we go. Y'all see Amy up on the screen. We've got Taco Tuesday in here a day early. We got A Fitz is in the building. We've got, who else is in here? I see a bunch of y'all in here. We've got Marie is in the building. John Baggs is up in here. We've got Bonnie Finley in here. Shout out to all the members in the building. Y'all are amazing. And thank y'all for the continued love and support. So if you're new to the channel, and for those of you who have been here for a long time, you guys know I do not ask for much on this show. But the one thing I do ask for is that you all like the video, okay? Likes are free, guys. And it really does help the channel continue to grow. Lets the algorithm know you guys are having a good time over here. Some great back and forth. It lets the algorithm know you guys are enjoying the show, and it shares the video, the channel with more people. So if you could take a second, it takes less than a second, like the video on your way in. There's already nearly 700 of you that have liked the video so far. So thank you to everyone who's done that. And I appreciate y'all so much. Also, if you're feeling extra generous, you can share the video as well. You click that share button. It's a little arrow that looks like it's curved, and it'll allow you to share it to X. You can share it to Instagram. You can share it to Facebook, any social media you have. You can also share it via text message to your group chat. I know many of y'all are in group chats over there. Let them know where you're hanging out during the weekday. Let them know what we've got going on here in the channel. Bring more people in. All right. Also, I will be acknowledging everyone who sends in super chats on the show. So let me go ahead and get to those. And we'll get started with the show because we got a lot to get into today. Shout out to one of the hardest working dudes I know. Les Cleaver is in the building with the 5-bomb. Says happy Monday, everyone. Took the day off. I'm shocked to do labs and to spend time here with you all today. God bless each of you. Amen. Best YouTube channel. Les Cleaver taking the day off. I am shocked. I'm shocked. I don't think Les Cleaver has ever done that since he's been in the community. Enjoy it, Les. You deserve it. We've got Slim Life New Jersey in here with the 5-bomb. Says, good morning, ClassE, Amy, and the fam. Have a great day, all. Remember, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Amen. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Love y'all. That is an amazing message, Slim Life. Thank you for always showing up and always supporting. We've got Amy in here. Y'all know she don't miss. She does not miss a beat. She's here every single show and has never missed an opportunity not only to show support here, but show support to you guys and give you a chance to take advantage of the membership. So she gifted 5 memberships today. If you got a membership from Amy, make sure you do the right thing and say thank you. All right. Shout out to Amy over there, gifting you guys a membership, giving you a chance to get your name highlighted in green. You get access to all the members only content, and you guys also get access to any members or any videos we release on the channel. You get instant access to those videos before everybody else does. We got John Baggs in here. Good morning to you. We've got Mr. Brown. My dog's in the building. Penny Neal is in here. Trish is in the building. Shout out to everybody stopping by, man. We've got Steph and Callie out there with the amazing weather. It's looking gloomy out here, Steph. So enjoy it for the rest of us. Okay, it looks like y'all have liked the video. Many of you have shared it out already as well. So thank you again to everyone who's done that. And we're going to go ahead and get right into our show because we've got a lot to cover today. And most recently, I told you guys when I first covered this, I did not want to cover it just because, we don't really do the drama over here. But this was going viral and it was too wild not to cover. So we've got some updates about this Astronomer CEO, Andy Byron. It looks like he's been let go. Yeah, Astronomer had enough of it. They said, Andy, thank you for the publicity. Everyone knows who Astronomer is now, and we're probably going to get some more funding because of this, but we got to let you go. So it looks like he resigned on his own, but we're going to get into the details of what happened. And then we're actually going to talk about what's going on with some of the people who were surrounding this, because it's been alleged that the person who was with them is actually someone who works for the company. We might dispel some of those rumors. So check this out. Shout out to Colin Rugg. Replaying this video again, which I'll play in a second. He says, breaking. Astronomer announces their board of directors has launched a formal investigation into the viral Coldplay concert incident. Astronomer is committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding, they say. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability. Yeah, not a great look when the HR is having an inter-office relationship. But we're focused on the CEO for now, right? Because he's a man. So we got to focus on the guy. The board of directors has initiated a formal investigation into this matter, and we will have additional details to share very shortly. Also, they mentioned Alyssa Stoddard was not at the event and no other employees were in the video. Andy Byron has not put out any statement report saying otherwise are all incorrect. So let's see the video in case you guys missed this viral moment. I don't know how you could if you're anywhere on social media. It was bad. Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Yes. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Now, they're saying Alyssa is this person right here. We're going to get into those rumors being dispelled as they mentioned before, but this is embarrassing. I'm not quite sure. Oh, look at these two. That's another angle. Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Well, turns out that they were. What does TMZ have to say about the CEO, Andy Byron, who, of course, is taking the majority of the heat, as it always happens in these types of cases? Astronomer CEO Andy Byron stepping down after Coldplay cuddle goes viral. Andy Byron, the CEO of Astronomer, who was caught on camera at a Coldplay concert cuddling his company's head of HR, has resigned. Oh, man. So he's up out of there. Astronomer announced the move in a Saturday morning press release, saying the company is committed to certain values and it expects its leaders to live up to standards of conduct and accountability, as we just read, of course. The company adds, Andy Byron has tendered his resignation and the board of directors has accepted. They probably told him, hey, man, let's make it look like you're doing the right thing. Try and smooth this over. The board will begin a search for our next chief executive as co-founder and chief product officer Pete DeJoy continues to serve as interim CEO. Astronomer addresses the recent run of bad press by saying they used to be known as a pioneer in the data ops space, and they remain committed to getting the focus back on the company's work instead of personal issues. That's not how this works. This is social media. By show of hands in the chats and in the comments, how many of y'all know what's going on in the data ops space? How many of you knew what data ops was before we started covering this? It's going to be very rare. So, hey, Astronomer, take the win. It's a little embarrassing, but this doesn't reflect necessarily on the company, in my opinion. But they had to make a move, obviously, right? Yeah, nobody knows what's going on in the data ops space. Come on now. As you know, Byron was spotted on Coldplay's couple cam at a concert earlier this week with his arms wrapped around Kristen Cabot, Astronomer's head of HR. TMZ obtained exclusive video from before the infamous moment, showing the two sharing a kiss and getting close as the music played out. We're going to talk about that in a second. The moment went viral online and inspired a ton of parodies, including many at sporting events. An astronomer announced they were launching an investigation into the conduct. Unclear if the investigation is still moving forward and what, if any, consequences Cabot may face as well. Yeah, sometimes, the guys, especially if he's in a higher position, is going to take the fall for this. Now, we've got to get into the video that was just talked about that TMZ was able to obtain before everything went down on the Kiss Cam. You got to check this out. See, Kristen's rubbing his arm. Dang, that's wild. So they were cuddled up the whole time. Sheesh. You can see him right there. That's embarrassing, man. Dang. Y'all imagine his family's gonna see all this. Oh, this is tough. Andy, come on, man. Kristen, what are you doing? Look at all of these people here. And they're just saying, yeah, not a big deal. Goodness gracious. All right, let's keep it moving. It's just too tough. So it was alleged that Alyssa Stoddard was the one who was seen in the video here, as we showed you guys before, covering her face in shock as her friends or her colleagues were caught in 4K on camera. But it turns out that was not Alyssa Stoddard. And the company, again, they commented on this. And we read this here. They say the board of directors has initiated a formal investigation. We now know the investigation is still ongoing, but Andy went ahead and resigned. They say Alyssa Stoddard was not at the event and no other employees were in the video. Andy Byron has been put on or has not put out any statement. Reports saying otherwise are all incorrect. They say this because there was a fake letter that went out, and we covered this, that was alleging it was Andy Byron, and it wasn't. So interesting enough, I saw someone else, and I wish I could find the video so I could give them credit. Someone else pointed out something interesting about Alyssa Stoddard. Now, they're saying, they being Astronomer is saying that this isn't Alyssa Stoddard in the video. But if you look and you go to Alyssa Stoddard's LinkedIn and you look at Kristen's LinkedIn, if you go through their history, Alyssa and Kristen, their history of employees has been very, very similar. Now, of course, in light of recent events, Kristen Cabot, her LinkedIn isn't available. You cannot find her on LinkedIn anymore. But if I find the video, it was over on TikTok. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description of this video and also in the description of the live stream. But if you look, she was working here in Boston, which is interesting, for 3 years, 10 months. It's the same thing with Kristen. She was a board member at Little Sparks. Very similar. She was also in human resources for Proofpoint. Also similar to Kristen. So if you go back and look at their history, Kristen and Alyssa are both working for the same companies, moving their way up. And now, of course, Kristen did promote Alyssa Stoddard at the new company Astronomer that she was with, and probably is not going to be any longer there. And also, Alyssa most likely will take her job, which would be interesting to see if she gets the same repercussions that Andy did. Either way, I had to show you guys one of this. I don't know if you all are a fan of The Office or not, but this has been my favorite. My favorite parody post of this, you got Jim and Pam, or not Jim, excuse me. You got Dwight and Pam from The Office getting caught on the kiss cam. I don't know if you guys watched The Office or not, but I thought this was absolutely hilarious. There's been so many of these pictures that have been circulating. I don't know if y'all have seen any of them. Here's another one. We've got Dwight and Angela in there as well. Too funny. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. Wild stuff going on here. Truly embarrassing for Andy, his family, for Astronomer. I think they'll recover the easiest out of this. I want to know what y'all think. And shout out to Dwight and Pam, man. What is going on here? Did I hear we had a celebrity in the building? Is Kat Not Williams in here? Where did she go? Somebody said Kat was in here. I didn't see her. Shout out to Kat Not Williams either way. I think she was live earlier. We've also got, I said, what's up to Taco Tuesday. There's Kat Not Williams. Shout out to Kat in the building. We've got Curious Coco New York is up in here as well. And Blue is in the building. Good to see y'all. And thank you again to everyone who's liked the video so far. Again, to everyone here, I do not ask for much on the show, but if you could, please make sure you like the video. All right. What's going on in Boston? Boston's a mess. Have you guys caught the video that I released this morning? Some of y'all saw that when we covered it during the live stream. If you didn't see the video I dropped this morning, make sure you go watch it. When it comes to Boston and Boston PD, it's a mess out there. I don't know what's going on in Boston, but they've got a lot of work they got to do with their personnel and how they handle business. I've never heard of Astronomer or Andy. Most of us haven't. Have you heard of data ops? What is data ops? I mean, obviously it sounds familiar, but who knows what's going on in data ops? I don't know. Yeah, y'all have no idea. Stephen Callie is like, I don't know what data ops is. Anyway, we got to keep it moving. Speaking of crazy stories, we need to go ahead and get into what's going on with Brian Kohberger here, because now that this gag order has been lifted, we've been hearing a lot of new information about not only some of the evidence that was going to be released during the trial, but background stories from people who were going to be witnesses in the trial. So we're going to cover it here in just a second. First thing I do when your video loads is hit the like button. It's easy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I saw that. We have to work. We have work to do cleaning up corruption for sure. That's every police precinct. Some it's worse than others, but yeah. Amy says mass of 2, you know what's in Boston. Amy, be nice, man. It's not everybody in Boston, but the police, yikes, they need a lot of help. Okay, let me update this title and then we'll get into what's going on with Brian Kohberger up in here. So as many of you know, Brian Kohberger's hearing is actually scheduled for Wednesday. And of course, we're going to be covering that. And most recently with Brian Kohberger, the judge lifted the gag order. So he said he's going to start releasing information about what evidence was available, what evidence was going to be shown during the trial. Anyone who wanted to speak to the media is now going to be able to speak to the media that was involved in the trial. So one of the first people to speak out was from a story that we heard once all of these alleged theories was happening behind the scenes. We now know the police officer that was going to hire Brian Kohberger as an intern is able to do an interview, and he did an interview with News Nation. Very interesting stuff here. There was rumored that Brian Kohberger was trying to become a police officer or was interested in law enforcement or wanted to somehow work with police. And now we get to hear directly from the source what that interaction was and why this officer decided not to bring Brian Kohberger in as a cop. Let's check it out.
We start tonight, of course, in Idaho, 5 days before Brian Kohberger is sentenced for a heinous quadruple murder, and 1 day after the gag order in that case was lifted. You heard it here first last night. There was frustration from one victim's father that gag or no gag, hundreds of court filings packed with vital information are still sealed. The gag order was lifted, but the docs are still sealed probably for months. Steve Gonzalez, father of Kaylee Gonzalez, wants all of the documents released now so that he and his family and the other victims know exactly how to write their victim impact statements before next Wednesday. Here's what Steve told Ashley last night.
Here you go.
I know our sisters want to do a victim statement and address the exact some of the things that happened to her, and they basically wouldn't share any information with us on what happened to her. So I'm pretty used to how ridiculous not just a gag order, but sealing something that has nothing to do with the victim's rights. It's all about I hate to say it, but it is a lot to do with the media and people being put on cameras and not knowing what to say, or things coming out that they didn't mean to say, or just didn't have a good explanation of what was going on. So they wrap this seal thing around trying to pretend like they're, trying to protect people.
Yeah, and the families were split. Victims of the families, the families of the victims were split on what they wanted to hear before they gave their impact statements. So some of them wanted to be able to hear and see a lot of the evidence and a lot of the things that were sealed. Some of them, they didn't want to hear it. They wanted to give it based on the information that they have and what they saw and what they heard, and focus on what the person who was murdered in this case meant to them. So there was a lot of back and forth there. And yeah, to be honest, I would want all of it out there. That's just my opinion, though. Thank God I'm not involved in this, and feel sorry for the family that's were involved.
So we've now seen the guidance that victims' families have gotten for the statements they're invited to make. Immediate family members are being told by the court to, quote, I want to read you this, express to the court how the defendant's conduct has affected you physically, financially, mentally, and or emotionally. Victim impact statements provide the court with information describing the characteristics of the victim, Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan, and all the and the emotional toll of the crimes on you and your family. Now, Steve Gonzalez told us the families are also being told to address their comments to the bench and to not address them to the killer, a restriction that he says benefits nobody but Brian Kohberger. I'm joined now by Chief Gary Jenkins of the Washington State University Police Department. Jenkins is a former chief of the Pullman, Washington Police Department who interviewed Brian Kohberger when Kohberger applied to be an intern there. Later, Chief Jenkins helped police in Moscow, Idaho get a warrant to search Kohberger's campus, apartment, and office. And Chief, it's very nice to have you tonight. We really appreciate you joining us very much. I want to start with...
Imagine what that interview was like.
You actually interviewed Brian Kohberger. He applied to be an intern with your department while he was getting his PhD in criminology in Pullman. What was your take on him when he came into your office?
Well, actually, all my interviews were done over Zoom. I believe Kohberger was still in Pennsylvania at the time, but he was going to be making his way out to Pullman for his PhD program.
Wow.
One thing that I was looking for in particular was someone who can develop a sense of trust and rapport with my staff. That's a very important quality in order to be a researcher embedded in a police department, because it's very tough to make inroads into law enforcement when you're considered an outsider, particularly from academia. And he was not particularly personable. He didn't speak in a fluid or conversational manner. And so I just felt like he would not be able to establish that trust and rapport needed to be an effective researcher in the police department.
Wow.
Did you know right away that he wasn't going to be a good fit?
No, I mean, I interviewed each candidate. I interviewed four for about half an hour each. And it was, a little bit of time that I realized that just his demeanor and his way of conversing, I just didn't feel he'd be a good fit at the end of the interview.
So tell me, Chief, how it went down. Basically, you were called, this was months later, to Moscow, which is, about 30 minutes away or so, 20 minutes away, because they wanted to tell you that they had identified a suspect in the murders. What happened when you got to the police station in Moscow, and what was your reaction when you found out that it was Brian Kohberger?
I would have loved to hear his testimony.
Well, I thought it was going to be another law enforcement briefing. They had held a couple for local law enforcement. But when I met Chief Fry in the lobby, I was the only one there that met him, and he walked me up to a room. And when he walked me into the room, it was full of their investigative team. And I knew right away that there was something significant happening and that it was likely to do with Washington State University. And so they told me that they had developed a suspect and they had connected him by DNA at the crime scene. And then they told me his name was Brian Kohberger. It took me a minute. The name sounded familiar. It's not a common name. And I recalled that I had interviewed him for that intern position when I previously worked at Pullman Police Department. So I let them know that. I told them I had his resume. I had a cover letter that I could share with them. And so they asked me to keep that information to myself for the moment and not even let my own department know that he had been identified. And so I went back to my department and sent them that information.
So I'm just curious, because
can y'all imagine if you would have been an
police
intern?
chief? I'm sure you interview a lot of people. When they said the name to you, how long did it take for it to sort of click, like, oh my gosh, this is the guy I interviewed over Zoom for that position?
Well, I recognized the name. I didn't remember from where, but it was probably within 30 seconds. Then I remembered where it was. And I do have to say the hair on the back of my neck stood up knowing that I had interviewed him. Had I selected him, he would have been embedded with the Pullman Police Department. But to know that here he was, the prime suspect in this quadruple homicide was chilling.
Yeah, and imagine if he had gotten on the police force, what would have happened as a result of that? I mean, again, that's assuming that what he's saying is true, Brian Kohberger is saying is true, and he did do these things. Whew, to have that level of power, that level of access, even as an intern, would have been amazing. I'm going to leave a full link to this interview in the description for you guys, but let me know what you think about this. Imagine if he had become an intern, what he would have had access to. Let me know what you think in the comments and in the chat. He said, yeah, because he's a weirdo. Oh, man. Wow, this guy is seriously disturbing. Again, I'm still trying to say, I don't know if he's been proven guilty, but the more I hear from this, I'm like, Brian, what you have going on, man? It's tough. He is not going to give the families the satisfaction of opening up. It's all a part of his game. Proctor had access too. That's fair. The family deserves to know the truth. I'm sorry, but I wish the judge would have made that one of the stipulations of his plea. I agree. To tell the truth. Tell them exactly how it went down. I would need to hear it personally. I would need to hear it for sure. And y'all said, yeah, because he's a weirdo. Well, I was able to find out he was indeed running a special unit to find these. Oh, okay. It looks like you're talking about John O'Keefe. Wait, why wouldn't you think he's guilty? Oh, shout out to Cat Jill in the building. Because I haven't seen the evidence. Just because someone pleads guilty and they say I did it, this made a lot of people upset, but that doesn't mean that they're guilty. And again, Amy did it and went through it last Friday. I went over it and told you guys last Friday, there's been case after case after case after instance after instance after DNA evidence, video footage, and there's still people who have pled guilty, done time in jail, and been innocent. It happens all the time. So again, I haven't seen the evidence, and I get and I understand why a lot of the family members would have wanted for this to go to trial. Not only because they want to see this man, they want to see their form of justice, whether that be the death penalty or what have you, and they want a jury to decide it, but they want the evidence to be shown. They want it to be clearly laid out as to why this man or why they believe this man did it. And we're never going to get to see it. Have you watched the documentaries? Documentaries are evidence. Oh boy. Yeah, I did watch some of them. And to be honest, they left out a lot of information. We watched it live here. We watched it live here on the channel, several documentaries, and there was a lot of information missing from those documentaries. Of course, they have to keep it entertaining, and they don't want to put everything in there. But yeah, I want to see the evidence. That's just me. Again, if you guys want to believe it's guilty, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying personally, I'm not comfortable saying it. Is what it is. Could we believe what he said? He's a control freak. Kohberger only pled guilty to stay off death row. That's what a lot of people think. They should have at least made him tell where they can find the knife. That would have been something. If he said, oh yeah, the knife's over here, I mean, case closed. There's nothing to see here. He was seen by people that were at the house and outside the house. That doesn't mean they found his DNA in the knife sheath. What else do you need? Sarah Daniel says, Sarah, I want you to, again, guys, I'm not doing this again today. We had this back and forth at length. I want you to just type into Google single trace DNA cases. Don't type it into Google. You can do whatever you want. Just know it's easy to find cases where there was single trace DNA, where someone saw somebody at the scene, where the person, they Googled something the night before, the person was in the area, and then that person turned out to be innocent. There's been case after case after case. Again, we don't have time to go through it and go over it here. All I'm saying is I don't know because I haven't seen the evidence, and that's okay. I don't think anybody in here has seen all the evidence either. So we can agree to disagree. He definitely did it. That's fine. Talking about dude, I still believe he's guilty. Nobody will plead guilty to four murders unless they were actually guilty. Okay. His car was completely stripped. Yeah, I guess y'all have seen. I must have missed the trial. I guess the trial already went down. I don't know. So y'all, I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm wrong, guys. Just don't listen to anything that I say, because y'all saw a trial that I didn't see. So I'm gonna let y'all have it, and you can go based off of the plea. Then that's fine with me. I will say I'm wrong on that, and we'll agree to disagree. All right, we gotta keep it moving though. As much as I want to go back and forth with y'all about something that's actually happened, we've got to talk about Shannon Sharpe. It is time. Yes, it's time, guys. As much as I say I could be wrong, and I might be wrong about Brian Kohberger, I have to get to one of my favorite segments of the show when it comes to Shannon Sharpe. And this segment of the show is called I Told You So. Not only a week ago, not only 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 2 months ago, since we've been covering this Shannon Sharpe lawsuit, I said over and over and over, guys, we looked at the lawsuit. We looked at what's being alleged. We looked at the statement Shannon Sharpe made. We looked at the evidence that was presented, the text messages, the audio. And I came to the conclusion that this was not going to end well for Shannon Sharpe. As we know, and as we now know, it did not. I got to do a little bit of a rewind and show you guys the video from just last week when we talked about this. And here's what I had to say about what was going to happen with the Shannon Sharpe trial. The first one is going to be very interesting. So we talked last week in the last couple of videos about what was going on with Shannon Sharpe in this lawsuit. As you guys know or may not know, Shannon Sharpe is facing a lawsuit, which I think is not going to end well for him. And he should have settled in the first place. Now, Shannon did try and settle this for $10 million. Obviously, Gabby and her attorney, Tony Buzbee, they said, man, listen, we know why you're offering $10 million. That's because you really should be paying us 20. And we're going to try and get that 20. So lawsuit's going forward. There's supposed to be a hearing last week, allegedly. All right, I'm going to get that. And I'm not going to get into everything that happened with the hearing. Y'all know what happened. I covered it on this channel at length. So again, that was just one instance of where I tried to tell everybody since the beginning that these consent civil lawsuits never end well. Never end well. It's too easy. And what did they say? What did Tony Buzbee say at the beginning of that lawsuit? Someone can tell you 99 times that something is okay, but the one time they say no, no means no. Period, guys. So now we're at this point. Shannon Sharpe It's looking like he settled everything, and Tony Buzbee is getting a well-deserved victory lap. He won. Tony Buzbee won, and it pains me to say this, but again, we talked about this. I told you guys this was going to happen. Tony Buzbee here. What does he say in this tweet? Jane Doe versus Shannon Sharpe. On April 20th, 2025, the Buzbee law firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharpe on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I am pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. You guys know what that means. They settled. Oh boy. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. Means it goes away forever and cannot be brought again. Now, as we stop at this point, I want you guys to keep in mind what I showed you in the video that I first played. Shannon Sharpe initially offered $10 million for this to go away, for it to not even get to this point. What do you guys think Shannon Sharpe settled for? Was it 11 million, 15 million, 20 million, 25 million? Did he give her the whole 50 million? She wanted $15 million. I don't think she got that. I'm going to stick to my initial claim. I think she's going to get 25. Did Shannon Sharpe write Gabby a $25 million check? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Also, one thing I want to point out, a big part of this, and the even bigger part of this, because money is money, let's be real, Shannon paid the price. It is what it is. The bigger part of this are the criminal charges, because this just happened in January, which means that if this was a real thing, Gabby could move forward and file criminal charges against Shannon Sharpe. Now, again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how this would work, but it appears to me, and it would seem, and the smart thing to do, if I were Shannon, if I were Lanny, is say, hey, we got to talk about criminal charges. We can settle, that's fine, but we need to make sure that we don't have an issue with criminal charges. I don't want her to be riding on her brand new yacht, living off of her villa in Italy, and then think, you know what? That still hurt my feelings. Let's file some criminal charges. So I wonder if that was a part of this settlement. Now, to all the attorneys watching, I appreciate y'all. Let me know if that's something that's even possible. If you're settling a civil case, can you say during that civil case that, hey, we're not going to press any criminal charges. We just want our money and we're going to walk away. I hope to God that that's the case, because I don't know how Shannon Sharpe would sleep at night knowing that there's still a possibility this chick, if she got her feelings hurt, could still turn around and walk into the police department. Tony Buzbee's like, hey, I didn't have anything to do with me. Man, oh man. So speaking of Gabby, what did she have to say? As you guys know, we've reported on it here. Gabby was a, what should I say? A content creator of a certain form on a certain platform. And it's looking like she has retired. Why she is officially retired? I'll let you guys be the judge. It may have something to do with the recent multi-million-dollar lawsuit she just settled. But again, this is all alleged. I don't know that we'll really ever know. Tony, I know he's going to watch this video. If you want to, you know, anonymously slip some information over to the channel, I'll be happy to share it here. Either way, what did Gabby say on her Instagram account? Now, this is alleged. I don't know if this is real or not. I've been trying to back it up. I've went to this Instagram that she has. I don't see this post there, so it may have been posted on their story and disappeared. But there's several places that are reporting. Gabby said this: today, I have decided to retire from OF. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. As my guy Noah reminded me in the chat, she did need a lot of support because She's one of those chicks that has this rare disease to where she is allergic to clothes and has a lot of trouble wearing them and keeping them on. Either way, this community has given me a life I could have never imagined. Thanks to Shannon Sharpe. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. I love you all forever and ever, Gabby. She is officially retiring, guys. Is this because of Shannon Sharpe? Is it a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. I think they're both directly related, as long as this is true. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments and in the chat. Did Shannon take one of the biggest L's since Cassie's settlement? Do you guys think Gabby got a bigger settlement than Cassie? Oh, that would be crazy. Cassie got $20 million from Diddy. You guys think Shannon Sharpe paid Gabby more than Diddy paid Cassie? Oh man. That would be wild. In my opinion, when I played Shannon Sharpe's video, I said to you multiple times, I think Shannon's not apology video. I think Shannon's, hey, this is what's going on video was worse than Diddy's apology video to Cassie. If it turns out that we find out information that Gabby got paid more than Cassie, we would have been right again. Let me know what y'all think in the comments in the chat. Oh, guys, I love saying I told you so. I'll admit when I'm wrong, which is rare. But man, I love saying I told you so. And I told y'all so. Every single one of you who doubted me. I was going to take a whole hour in this show and go back to the last live stream I did when you guys say, oh, if you didn't do it, Shannon, don't settle. Oh, Shannon, you should never settle. Stand up for yourself. Don't back down, Shannon. No, this was a losing. This was a losing case from the beginning. This was losing from the beginning. Consent is no joke, guys. Protect yourself. Shannon, he messed up. He messed up. And this should have been taken care of a long time ago. We wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Les Cleaver says Shannon Sharpe should have settled a long time ago, and Tony Buzbee is not a good lawyer. Well, he makes money. I don't know if he's a good lawyer or not, but he definitely makes some money. But he's going to claim this as a victory, as he should, sadly. OMG, I love this channel because I told you so. Now I can actually go to work. She got money. Yep. Hopefully this doesn't become another Diddy situation with BS charges being introduced. As long as Shannon kept his nose clean. If there were other Gabbys before this, possibly. We know there's a Michelle out there, not the Michelle that was mentioned in Shannon's video where he was. The different Michelle is suing Shannon for something similar. So Shannon Sharpe is not done unless he settled that one and we don't know about it. I bet you she got at least 20 to 25 million, probably 20 mil plus. I said 25. I think I'm right. I heard it was 15 mil. I think that's possible. Walking away from 10 million is one thing, but you think she got 30 million? Oh, man. Think about how much 30 million is. 2 years of work. Work. This chick Gabby put in 2 years worth of work, got in her feelings about something Shannon did or didn't do, and got paid millions and millions of dollars. And some of y'all are saying 30. Some of you are saying 50. Since he was willing to settle anyway and didn't have to pay 50 million, I consider it a win. What? I'm sorry. Paying money for something that you didn't do is a win? No. Shannon lost. This was always a loss. This was a loss from the time he allegedly walked up to her in the gym. It's like, come on over here and do some freaky stuff. And then he got caught on audio saying, I'm going to choke you. What? This was never a win for Shannon. And it's going, it's not just costing him 50 million. It's going to cost him a lot of opportunities in his career. We covered it in multiple videos here on this channel. There were sponsors that were telling Shannon they didn't want to be associated with him. Boost Mobile is one of them. Prize Picks, I think, was another one that told Shannon, hey, you got to chill on this. You look at some of his videos around the time that all of this information dropped, he's got his sponsorships covered up and pictures of his sponsors that he had in the background taken down because sponsors were like, sorry, Shannon, we can't be associated with that. It's not just 50 million, guys. This is bigger than that. We know Tony Buzbee gets at least 38% of that. Shannon paid the money, probably 40 million. Oh my gosh. ClassE, that's not possible. Waiving criminal charges in a civil settlement, at least in Iowa. Okay, I would be interested to know from an attorney if that's possible, because if not, I don't know how Shannon sleeps until the statute of limitations runs out. CPE is in here with the 5 bomb. He says ClassE be more accurate than the Simpsons with predictions. Listen, I just got a little bit of common sense, okay? Dang. And y'all tried to there was I think Melody was one of the ones that argued with me. So many of y'all were arguing with me. No, he's not gonna settle. He shouldn't settle. Where are they at? Where are y'all at? I'm gonna pull up the receipts and I'm just gonna roast y'all the entire next live stream. Why do you guys keep doubting me? Oh man. Gabby probably got around the same as Cassie, 20 million before taxes. Proof after proof. When it came to Shannon, he messed up bad. Yep. Going great. Thank you. When she said no, it would have stopped. It should have stopped. According to Google, his net worth is only 30 million. Yeah, he had allegedly a multi like $100 million deal on the table. I don't know what happened with that, but it might be off the table. It's definitely possible. Amy said, let me see that clap again. Amy knows what it's like. I'm under the firm belief you got money, big money. You're better off to stay the hell out of society and stay less. I was just having this conversation yesterday. I literally just had this conversation yesterday. Stay away so people don't come after you so they can't point fingers at you. Yep. She made Shannon change his number. ClassE, I'm a lawyer in Ohio, not Iowa. Did I say Iowa? Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie. Shout out to Bonnie, amazing attorney in here. Thank you for that insight. So Bonnie, is that even the thing? Is what I'm saying crazy? And are there any cases where you could ever in a civil lawsuit say, I agree that I will not file criminal charges once we settle? Shout out to Bonnie. I love when attorneys are on the channel. And thank you for being here, Bonnie. Did I say Iowa? Why did I say Iowa? I'm thinking of, I don't know. I don't even know what's out in Iowa. Caitlin Clark played out there. Tony Buzbee gets a win. I hate that. I said Iowa. I just be saying stuff. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Tony's just doing his job. And Shannon didn't do his job. That's why Gabby got paid. Amy says, yes, I'm sure that was put in wording. And then Bonnie says, not in Ohio, a plaintiff can't affect what charges the state files. Dang. How does he's... I got to look this up now. Let's find out in Nevada. We're going to do some quick research and we're going to find out what is going on here. Okay. In Nevada, can you settle a civil lawsuit and include in that settlement that the plaintiff cannot press criminal charges and neither can the state? in the Shannon Sharpe v. Jane Doe case, for example. We're gonna find out, guys. Let me see what we come up with. Amy says, yeah, I'm sure that was put in the wording. She probably had to sign a waiver of release. Personally, she can't if she signs something, but the state could bring charges and Jesus. Okay. And short answer is no. In Nevada, you cannot include a valid enforceable clause in a civil statement that prevents the plaintiff from pressing criminal charges. And you absolutely cannot stop the state from pursuing legal charges. Civil versus criminal charges, different ballparks, obviously. Civil cases like defamation, invasion of privacy, or infliction of emotional distress are private matters between parties. Criminal cases are public matters prosecuted by the state of Nevada, not the victim. Even if the alleged victim, the plaintiff, agrees not to cooperate or to drop the charges, the state can still prosecute if it believes a crime occurred. Prosecutors do not need the victim's permission, obviously. Can the plaintiff agree not to press charges? You can include a clause in a civil statement where the plaintiff agrees not to initiate or cooperate with a criminal complaint. For example, the plaintiff agrees not to voluntarily provide testimony or cooperate in any criminal prosecution relating to these events. But such a clause is not enforceable if it's viewed as obstructing justice or interfering with law enforcement in some cases. It may even be considered criminal witness tampering or compounding a crime. Both are illegal. Oof. The state cannot be bound by that agreement. It says, if Shannon Sharpe were to sue John Doe for defamation or harassment and settle the case, even if part of the settlement was John Doe won't go to the police or press charges, it doesn't stop law enforcement from investigating, prosecutors from filing, or judges from compelling testimony. If a crime occurred, the settlement doesn't shield either party from prosecution. The bottom line, a civil settlement can include a non-cooperation clause, but that can't stop the state from pressing charges. It cannot illegally block someone from reporting a crime. Including such a clause would or could even backfire legally. I gotta find out what's the statute of limitations. Of limitations for what was she alleging? I'm trying to see what the statute of limitation is for SA. Whether the victim, so it depends on if the victim filed a police report. So it happened after October 2011. 20 years statute of limitations on SA. Unless a police report is filed within that period. What? So if an SA in Nevada, if an SA occurred after 2011, which this did because it happened this year, 20 years statute of limitations unless a police report is filed within that period or DNA clears the timeline. How is Shannon going to sleep? How is Shannon Sharpe going to sleep at night after this? Oh my gosh. 20 years? Guys, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Shout out to Jason. We're going to get into cash out here towards the end of the show. Thank you for pointing that out. Unless there's something I'm missing here, and I wish, Tony, if you're watching, please comment on this, because I know you be watching the channel sometimes. That is insane. Insane. I feel bad for Shannon Sharpe, man. Y'all know Shannon Sharpe, he settled with Gabby, or Jane Doe as we should call her. Tony Buzbee got a win. Gabby got a win. She retired. Shannon Sharpe retired her. And now we're hearing more information about this lawsuit. I wanted to check out this video from the Breakfast Club, see what they had to say about it, and if they can give more insight into what happened behind the scenes and what Shannon Sharpe possibly settled for. If I had to guess, I'm thinking it's between 25 and 30 million. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments and in the chats about that.
So, Shannon Sharpe in that $50 million lawsuit accusing him of rape of a Jane Doe will be settled. According to Tony Buzbee, who is the attorney that filed on behalf of the Jane Doe in the beginning of all of this. So, Tony Buzbee released a statement over the weekend that said on April 20th, 2025, the Buzbee law firm filed a complaint in Nevada, making several allegations against Shannon Sharpe on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual but tumultuous relationship after protracted and respectful negotiations. I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutual agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and this matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice.
Did they say how much he settled for?
They have not said how much he settled for, but
25.
if you guys remember in the beginning, Tony Buzbee had let us know that there was like $10 million offered when they were having a settlement conversation, and then Shannon Sharpe's attorney came out and mentioned that they offered a good amount of money because they were trying to keep the intimate details of this whole thing, contained.
Private?
Yes, private or contained. So NBC is reporting that it'll probably be upward of that $10 million because that's where they started in the beginning.
Way more than
It sounds so crazy, right? Because he was trying to pay so none of the details came out. But then they wound up putting some of the details out anyway.
Because they wanted more money, and she sued.
But I wonder,
And
does
she
this
won.
start a precedent of other people saying, oh, now I'm going to sue, or now this happened to me? Because since he...
Obviously, Amy mentioned it in the chat. We saw this happen with Diddy, and lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. If Shannon Sharpe had a one-night thing with somebody 5 years ago, there's probably going to be a lawsuit because they know this chick settled and got paid. She just retired, guys, and we're reporting on it. They're going to see this video. If Shannon Sharpe was at a hotel and it showed him going up the elevator with someone and they went their separate ways, but you don't see which way they go, that person's going to file a lawsuit. I mean, again, I'm surprised Tony Buzbee hasn't went on a press conference tour like he did with Diddy and say, hey, see this 1-800 number back here, guys? If you ever came in contact with Shannon Sharpe, if you ever felt victimized by this heinous man, Shannon Sharpe, call the 1-800 number. Tony's got you covered. This is not good.
paid her 10. Should I get 10? Should I get 5? Should I get 3? Should I get 1?
Well, he acknowledged the relationship. So that's the difference. It's not like she just made an accusation. They actually had a relationship.
Yeah. And then, so there have also been reports that the woman involved, who is listed as a Jane Doe, will now be leaving OnlyFans following this resolution.
I'm sure.
Now,
Crazy.
I will say, so this is a statement that, per reports, were posted to her Instagram, the Jane Doe's Instagram. I went to her Instagram and didn't see this. It was removed. But per reports, there was a post that she put out that says, "Today I've decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could have never imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I cannot wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. I love you all forever and ever." And on the repost to her story, it said, "What a journey it's been, ... Per reports.
Yes, and hopefully she can recover from her not being able to have clothes on disease. Not judging, just saying.
Just for the record, there is no reason for a 50-plus-year-old man to have gotten got by a 19-year-old OnlyFans model. Okay, those should be immediate red flags for a 50-plus-year-old man.
Agree.
And I hope men are learning from these situations. You have to have discipline. You have to control your urges, control your desires.
Why are we calling her Jane Doe if we already know her name?
Because if she was filed as a Jane Doe, it's just the thing you're supposed to do as you're reporting it. But if you guys remember when when Shannon Sharpe dropped his statement, he identified who she was, which made her team come back and release some things and all that stuff. But me personally, I just stick to what they're filed under, just to be, safe
and accurate.
Well,
yeah,
she got
basically.
it. She got it.
Imagine retiring somebody from OnlyFans.
That's crazy. That's
come
crazy.
on, man.
Like you said,
if those aren't immediate red flags, and you 50 plus years old, I'm 19 and I'm an OnlyFans model.
19 at 52.
Jesus. Come on, man. I mean, in Shannon Sharpe's case, he should have been acting his age and dating his age, and none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I'm not gonna get into an age gap conversation because it's just not worth it. And who cares? I don't think even the age gap is the issue. The issue is Shannon didn't cover his you-know-what, right? If what's being alleged in this lawsuit by Tony Buzbee and Jane Doe is true, we'll never know. It was dismissed with prejudice. If what she said was true, Shannon Sharpe met her in the gym. Shannon Sharpe said, "Hey, you look nice. I like how you're working out." Yeah. She's like, whatever. He sees her again. "Hey, girl, give me your number. I like how you look." "Okay, fine. I feel pressured. You're intimidating. I'll give you my number." They meet up. They connect. Shannon Sharpe's like, "Hey, things are starting to get pretty crazy, pretty serious. I know we want to do some things. I need you to sign this NDA." And she said, "What? An NDA? I'm not signing that." At that point, Shannon Sharpe should have walked away. He should have immediately walked away. 19, 89, 39. Walk away. Shannon Sharpe, you're looking at $100 million deal. You're worth millions of dollars. You're a super public figure. This just happened over the past couple of years, y'all. This didn't happen 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And even then, Shannon Sharpe was in the NFL 20 years ago. So even if it did, at that point, if what Tony Buzbee's alleging is true, Shannon Sharpe should have walked away. He didn't. He could have covered himself, and he didn't. That, to me, is the issue. Not, 19, 15 years. He's got money. He's grown. She's grown. They can do whatever they want to. No, let's not do that.
Well, in other news, another crazy relationship or whatever news this is, the astronomer, the company Astronomer.
Okay, we're not listening to that. What do y'all think about that? With Shannon, with knowing all that Shannon Sharpe had to lose, age aside, why in the world did he have a relationship with this person whose job it is to make this type of content, to do this type of thing? Why did he not have this piece of paper signed? Why? I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. And I really hope that Shannon doesn't deal with this for a long time, but we just talked about in the last video, 20 years statute of limitations on these criminal charges. Imagine. I want you guys to think about this. And God, I hope this doesn't happen to Shannon Sharpe. Imagine Gabby is just completely irresponsible. It's a completely irresponsible young 20-something-year-old as she is now. And she goes and she blows. Poor choice of words. She just spends all the money that she got from the settlement, if any, in 10 years. And she calls up Shannon Sharpe. "Hey, Shay, I know we settled, but, I'm kind of down on my luck and things have been really hard for me. I haven't been on OF in 5 years. Can you help a sister out?" And she says, and Shannon Sharpe says, "No, I already gave you $30 million. I paid you more than Cassie, and she was with Diddy for 10 years. Plus, I'm not giving you any more." Okay. "Hey, can I speak to the DA of the state of Nevada? I got some criminal charges I'd like to file." I want to say I feel bad for Shannon. I mean, I have compassion for him, but this is nothing about this is good for him. And hopefully they've got something in writing that's going to make him feel a little bit better. But we've already seen we're talking about a person who turned down $10 million. You know how powerful you have to feel to turn down $10 million? I want you guys to think about that in a second. Let me know what you think in the comments in the chat. Yeesh. What's criminal about any of this? Kathy, your question out of all of this is what's criminal about any of this? Oh man, I don't know why I'm acting like I have time today. But here, I'm just gonna assume, Kathy, that you haven't been following this and you're not sure what's going on here. But let me find this for you. And hopefully this will make it clear. It's not going to take long, y'all. So I know a lot of you are up on what's going on in this lawsuit. And oh, shout out to Adobe. My subscription ended. No, we'll continue for free. Kathy, this is for you. A woman can say yes to consensual intercourse with a man 99 times. But when she says no, even once, that no means no. That's it. Where I come from, they call that ape with an R at the beginning. So the simple answer is yeah, it's that part. But who's going to believe her? Who's going to believe she ever said no? Yeah, you really must be new here. There's a video that Shannon Sharpe admitted that she has. And you know what? I talk too much on this show. Right. So Kathy, we're going to help Kathy out today. And because I'm sure there's somebody else who doesn't know this either. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let Shannon Sharpe tell you who's going to believe her.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty.
What? Kathy. It tries to make him look what? Hold on, let me run this back real quick. What is she? It makes him look what? It makes him look innocent and that nobody's gonna believe her? Is that
to my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm gonna be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, Kathy, that doesn't sound to me like no one's going to believe her. See that forehead glistening up there? It's kind of looking like mine, except I'm not sweating. That man was sweating when he said that. He said, guys, this video looks bad. Right? But just listen, I talk too much, so I'll let Shannon say it. But it's okay. It's okay. You know why?
That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Yeah.
You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Buzbee want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
Well, that defamation lawsuit didn't work out. It's not going to work. So again, this is for the people who might not know what's going on. The minute I saw this, I knew Shannon Sharpe was absolutely cooked. He admitted to everything. Just, hey, wait. I'm an adult. She's an adult. She was on OF. I saw her. She looked good. And she liked it. If you saw the 10-minute video, yeah, she said no. But, you know, before that, she was fine. After that, she was fine. But in that moment, okay, it looks bad. All right. Let's not focus on that.
My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
And he wrote that check. Shout out to Shay, man, doing big things. Shay, he's going to be fine, but he's got a lot of work to do. Shannon Sharpe has a ton of work to do because this is, oh, man. Oof. I don't know how he sleeps at night, man. Dang. Just waiting for Gabby to spend about 16 million of that on a yacht and blow through the other 15 in 5 years. Shout out to Kathy says, oh, okay, I see now. I'm a little behind on the Shannon Sharpe case. It's all right. I didn't think you were asking maliciously, Kathy. I'm just dramatic. Cat Not Williams said, for real though. Sign the NDA, man. Don't be, goodness gracious. What are y'all saying in here? You're good, Kathy. This is an awesome community. Yeah, y'all making an awesome community. We have fun. Don't take anything too serious. You know why? Because at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe nor Gabby is going to be thinking about any of us at the end of the day, and I ain't going to be thinking about them. So let's just have a good time, have some great conversation, and keep it moving. Yeah, shout out to Jason. We're going to talk about Cash Out in a minute. I think I already mentioned that. Amy said, what is Amy saying? Now, I wonder how many men will come sue Gabby. Ooh, Amy, what do you mean? Oh, you're probably saying that because of the nature of the type of content she was making on OF. Interesting. Kathy said, no, I wouldn't be malicious. I love your channel. Thank you for being here, Kathy. And thanks for being a good sport. Y'all, do not take me too serious. At the end of the day, it's not. We're just here to educate, have good conversation, and see how we can better move and protect ourselves. Because y'all know this justice system, the judicial system, is a mess. Needs a lot of work. No man's gonna go and sue Gabby. Trust me. I didn't know NBA YoungBoy was pardoned by Trump. Yeah, shout out to YoungBoy, man. He's up out of there. He's good to go. Let me see. What else are y'all saying? Oh, did I miss any super chats in here? Let me make sure I show y'all some love. And big shout out to everyone who's liked the video. We got over 1,000 of you in here. If you could please like the video. I don't ask for too much, but I do ask that you like the video while you're here. Likes are free, guys. Two Flies in the building. What up? Good to see you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into our next topic. So we actually, let me make sure we're good over here. No one is going to sue her, but someone is definitely going to marry her. No prenup. Ugh. Hey, yo, what? You think she would get married with all that? Oh my goodness. Oh, man. All right. So now we've got to talk about this situation with Mickey Steins. So there were a lot of questions here with Mickey Steins. In case you don't know this story, allegedly what's going on with Mickey is that he had an issue with the judge. And the issue he had with the judge is that the judge was involved in some, let's say, inappropriate activities with not only people who were being detained, but allegedly Mickey Stein's daughter was one of the people who the judge was having inappropriate interactions with, right? So we got to see the video. We saw what's happening with the trial. We saw Mickey Steins. He goes into the judge's chambers and then he just unloads the clip on this judge after seemingly finding out the judge was contacting his daughter. So now that we're going along, we're getting ready for this trial. Whenever it happens, we don't know yet. We're finding out that there's been new footage released when it comes to Mickey Steins and what he did before he entered into the judge's chambers. Now, it's being alleged that the defense is going to say he wants to plead insanity. They're moving to dismiss the case because they're saying Mickey's crazy. A lot of what we're going to see in this video, a lot of what we're seeing in the past, it may point to some planning here. So the plea for insanity might not fly with the judge. Let's go ahead and get into the video and y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments and in the chat.
News 5 has obtained a video release from the incident involving Lecher County, Kentucky Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins allegedly shooting and killing District Judge Kevin Mullins in his chamber. If you remember, back in September, this incident happened at the Lecher County Courthouse. News 5's Liam Bridgman, who's been following this story since the very beginning, joins us live in studio with that video. Liam.
That's right, Casey. This new video shows the minutes leading up to the death of District Judge Kevin Mullins, including Sheriff Mickey Steins asking for Mullins' phone. I was also able to get some insight from a former prosecutor, now defense attorney Tim Horn. Take a look. Surveillance footage from inside of Mullins' chamber shows the judge speaking with a group of people back on September 19th. According to the video's timestamp, Steins enters the judge's chambers at 2:39 p.m. Within the minute, the room clears, leaving the pair alone.
Wow.
For nearly 10 minutes, Steins and Mullins seem to be having a normal conversation, but with no audio in the footage, we don't know what they talked about. At around 2:48, Steins makes a video call to an individual, and then again 1 minute later. It looks like the second call does not go through. Then Steins appears to ask for Mullins' phone while looking at a contact on his own phone.
Look at this judge. He's out there just smoking a cigarette. Dang, not even knowing what's about to go down.
Steins then unlocks Mullins' phone and makes a call. That's when things change. Steins gets up from his chair, reaches for his gun, and fires multiple times. Jeez. I spoke with former prosecutor, now defense attorney Tim Horn. He spoke from both perspectives after watching the video.
Wow.
I noticed that the sheriff got up, he locked the door. I think that's a very key moment as a former prosecutor, what's important to me, because he's keeping that judge there and he's not allowing anyone else to come in.
Yep, and I said this before, that might show premeditation, which is not going to be good for Mr. Steins.
I also asked Horn about the defense's possibility to plead insanity.
I think there's, a partial plausible explanation of diminished capacity. But as a defense lawyer, I'm also thinking that he had an opportunity to walk away. He didn't. He closed the door.
But Horn says without audio in the video, there are still questions that need to be answered.
The video doesn't lie. And when it's coupled with audio, it's the best evidence that you'll ever have. The jury gets to look at it through their lens as it occurs and form their own opinion without the persuasiveness of individual testimony. The video just is what it is.
You can see Horn's full interview on our WCYB YouTube page.
Liam, thank you very much.
Yep, and we're going to get into that right now. We're actually going to hear from this defense attorney and what he's seeing in this video, how it could apply not only to the indictment and the charges themselves, but how it could apply to what the defense is trying to push in getting this dismissed. This is very interesting stuff. Y'all check it out.
You've seen what happened.
Take me through, as a prosecutor, you've been in that situation before. What are you looking at in this video?
Well, the video is the only eyewitness to the crime in this case, and it's going to show the acts as they occurred, and it can't be refuted. But the video has to be taken into context, and what the video doesn't show, or what I haven't been able to see, is to have that coupled with the audio, because what's missing for me as a prosecutor is the conversation between the sheriff and the judge. What are they talking about? What are they discussing? But at the end of the day, it shows that this sheriff picked up a firearm and he shot an unarmed man in his office. And being charged with murder, they're going to have to show an intentional act, and I think this video speaks for itself.
And we've seen the moments leading up to it. What did you see that kind of caught your eye, either as he's entering the office or the moments before the act?
Well, I think what I looked at, what I was taken away from when I watched the video, is that the sheriff waited to go into the office until those other guests or other employees that were in the judge's office left. To me, that was a purposeful thing, and I don't know the intent of why he waited. Maybe it was because he was extending a professional courtesy to the judge and expected one himself. Maybe he just wanted to have a discreet comment. I imagine the state or the Commonwealth of Kentucky will argue that no, he was waiting till everyone left. So it's the subtle things that you have to look at, that you can assume or you can argue mean one thing, but we don't know because of the audio. Again, sometime in the conversation, I think both parties are very relaxed and they appear to be having some type of conversation, albeit after the fact we know that was probably a tenseful conversation that the judge and the sheriff was having. There's something that sheriff saw on the telephone, or something that he had a conversation with someone that apparently turned that conversation in another direction. I noticed that the sheriff got up, he locked the door. I think that's a very key moment as a former prosecutor, what's important to me, because he's keeping that judge there and he's not allowing anyone else to come in. And I think that's a key thing that I'm going to be looking at a prosecutor.
As a defense attorney now, flipping the script, you're in that position now. What are you looking at here that says that Sheriff Steins, and now he's pleading insanity,
I don't think it's going to work.
A possibility here from what you're seeing in this video?
Well, I imagine the defense, one of the things that they would probably be exploring is that at some point something happened during that conversation with the judge, or something happened on those phones, on those video phone calls, or when the judge turns over his phone, the sheriff has seen something, heard something, or someone has said something to him that has, as I've already said, it turned the conversation. And so maybe the sheriff went in there hoping to have an adult civil conversation, and then sees or learns of something that just he was overcome by the emotion of what had happened. And so I think there's a partial plausible explanation of diminished capacity. But as a defense lawyer, I'm also thinking that he had an opportunity to walk away. He didn't. He closed the door.
He closed the door, locked the door, and he pulled that thing out there and said, "You son of a..." Not great. And again, we have to find out, and we have to hear from the defense. Why was he there? What did he go there for? Because if you can show that this man was researching certain things, he had conversations with someone before, and he went there with the intent of confronting this judge in this way and about a specific topic, I think it's going to be tough to show that this wasn't premeditated. And it's going to be hard, man, as a juror. Y'all, what do y'all think?
He locked the door. And those are calculated decisions that when you're going to plea insanity, it's not spontaneous. It's not just rapidly unfolding, and you have, he clearly had some control. Now, that's a fact question for a jury to determine, and it's not necessarily a legal gateway to escape what he's charged with, but I think I would have a better opinion if I could put the context into it. Certainly something sent that sheriff off, and certainly he was overcome by something, but I think when you get to whatever happened said, both the state or the Commonwealth and the defense are going to be painting a different picture.
I guess it's not every day or every trial that you get an inside look at the moments leading up to.
Yeah, Amy says definitely premeditated.
A crime, especially a crime of this magnitude.
Well, no, it's not that often, but let me say this, Liam. As a prosecutor, I prosecuted cases that were criminal defendants recorded their criminal conduct. So as technology has advanced, criminals oftentimes make their own evidence that convicts them. And we used to call it push-play prosecution, because absent a video, you may have direct eyewitness testimony, but that's, again, open for context. And, you know, their interpretation of something, you're listening to someone testify to what they may have saw or what they saw someone do or what they heard, but you're getting from that person's perception and that person's context. A video just tells you the story the way it happened. But again, videos still have problems and complications too when they're not coupled with audio, because the context still can be skewed. It doesn't always. It tells the story. I mean, it tells the identity. There's a lot of things that this video does to help the prosecutor about. There's no doubt who done it. There's no doubt when it occurred. There's no doubt where it occurred. The big question is why. And often the why. I think that's the only thing that this jury's going to have to determine is the why, and they're either going to find
what we need to know.
that
Yes.
this was a premeditated intentional act, or that, you know, maybe the defense does have some merit in their argument that he was acting under passionate motives. But again, we'd need the audio to do that. And a lot of times you have audio on video, and those are the easiest cases to prosecute because the video doesn't lie. And when it's coupled with audio, it's the best evidence that you'll ever have. You don't have to put people up there to say what their perception of it is when a jury can look at it as if they were standing there the day of. And that's why we nicknamed it the push-play prosecution. They're hard cases to defend if you're a defense lawyer.
That's what I'm saying.
Because no matter what the defendant says happened, no matter what victims, if it's not a fatal victim says happened, the jury gets to look at it through their lens as it occurs and form their own opinion without the persuasiveness of individual testimony. The video just is what it is.
I agree. Very well said by this attorney. This is going to be a tough job for whoever his defense attorney is. And they're going to have to show a long history of either this man having issues or some eyewitness testimony, someone he sent a text to showing that he was perfectly normal, and then he snapped. Again, they can't even deny at this point that he did it. We know he did it. We saw him. He emptied the clip. It happened. So what is the defense going to do in this case? Is a jury going to see it that way? Maybe they'll justify it based upon what the judge was actually participating in. Woo! We got to check this one out once it actually goes to trial. I'll be here for it, and I know you guys will be too. Let me know what you think in the comments and in the chat. Oh, man, we got the gun folks in here. Lurking Fed said, magazine, you over here calling me a blogger, and you're correcting my use of the word clip. I don't forget, Lurking Feds. Let's not do that today, all right? Shout out to Lurking Feds. We got my guy Les Cleaver in here with the 10 bomb, showing some major love. He says, I have to say this. The love that was going on this channel, especially between ClassE, Amy, and Gracie, is amazing. This is why I'm still here. I love this channel and family. I'm truly blessed. Thank you for the support, Les. And we love having you here too. You gave some great insight and commentary in the chat and in the comments. I see you and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Blogger, please be accurate. Stop it. Lurking Face, man. I gotta get you out of here. Amy says, y'all want to watch the body cam of the sheriff after the show? Go watch it and leave a comment for me over on Amy's channel. Oh, we'll watch part of it right now. I got time today. I'm not gonna play the whole thing though. Y'all gotta go watch the rest of it on Amy's channel.
You got your body camera on? I did. Okay. Yeah. So I believe you, Mickey. Okay. We're going to have to remove him from the hallway. and I wanted to wait till you got back till you had your body cam running because we can't leave him here. We got people inside this room. We're going to finish a sweep and we need to move him somewhere.
Okay.
For temporary right now till Ira gets here.
Okay.
And then we're obviously going to transport him somewhere else. So.
Okay. Did Ira want me to go ahead and talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If we have a spot, let me see if we can find a
Yeah, let's see if these people can move anywhere to another room.
Well, that's what there used to be a room back here. Who?
Why are you going to transport me in a vehicle for?
Probably not to put you in Lecher County Jail. I mean,
Why?
Just probably because I don't know though. I don't know if that's
I
happening.
don't mind to be down there.
You don't mind to be down there?
They'll put me in a
Well, I mean,
cell.
we'll talk about that. You know, I have to talk to see what the logistics is down there.
When I got to get put in a vehicle and go outside.
Well, yeah, I understand why you're worried, but at the same time, you know how it is with something like this. We're going to be worried about you in the jail down here with local people.
Right now, I'm alive and well, no weapons on me. Okay. So, if I leave this building, I won't draw another breath.
Read him Miranda before you go anywhere.
Well, I'm going to get in there.
They're all locked. You can get nobody else.
Okay, well, do you understand the rights?
What are you saying?
Do you understand the rights?
I can't hear you.
Okay, I'll speak up louder. Listen to me, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney to have one present during any questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one may be appointed to you before any question. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand these rights? Okay. Keeping these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now? You had told me earlier you was ready to talk about it.
We go down to the jail and cameras and stuff at the jail. I don't
We
want to
can't
go out
take you in
and
the Lecher County jail.
I don't want to go out and get in the vehicle, guys. No offense.
Well,
At some point you have to do that.
We'll figure something out.
I understand it. How about a room right here for right now?
Yeah, we're just doing a room
His
right
body
here.
cam.
My body cam's Nikki, you know me. I would never do anything to you or her. Is that what you're worried? Is that
Because at some point you're leaving this building.
is that what you're worried about?
I want as many officers as you can get to take me somewhere.
Hang on.
Well, we can
Downstairs to the jail here.
we can make that. We can
Downstairs to the jail here.
That's not your request. You can't make that request. Because we're the sheriff of Lecher County.
Yep.
We would put you at risk by taking you down there.
They will put me in a single cell. I've seen it done with officials in the past before that's committed crimes. I can be in protective custody down there in a single cell out front.
You feel safe in the Lecher County jail.
If you feel safe in Lecher County Jail, I mean, we can talk to everybody about
That's
this.
fine. We're trying to keep your best interest.
We was just worried about
I
you.
feel safe in population, but they can keep me in
Single.
single. I'll stay in single cell.
Well, you know,
forever.
if you feel safe there, then we'll try to make that happen. Okay.
Let me run that by your supervisor. And
Okay.
if that's we're trying to protect your interest by not taking you down there.
Yeah.
But if that's something you're comfortable with, then we can look into it. Okay. Let's see.
I just hate to get in a vehicle with. Where are you going to take me to then? And who's going to take me?
I would take you.
We don't know that yet. But you have to leave this courthouse. at some
Mickey, I would take you. You know me. We've known each other our whole lives. You know I'm not going to do anything to you. What's going on? What happened? Where was your daughter at? You was asking about her. Was she outside?
Yeah, I still can't believe that this was after the fact. Amy's saying he's calm. Listen to the other officers like, hey man, we're gonna get you to a nice place. Don't worry, you know, it's all good. We're gonna take care of you. Just relax, you know, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Oh, hey buddy, you all right? Let me read you your rights real quick. What is going on here? Y'all know anybody else would not be treated like this. You want me to read you your rights real quick? Yeah, I know you know them. Hold on, sit right here. I'll get you some coffee. We'll read your rights real quick.
There can't be more than two
What is
people
going on?
per Supreme Court issues when they talk to you, but we can have multiple people move. and he's got his body camera. If you want to talk to him, not more than 2 people can talk to him.
Jessica.
Okay? That's a Supreme Court ruling. It's coercion. It's duress if we do that. Okay?
Under the jail.
But we'll have
What if I
multiple
give
people.
permission more than 2 to talk to me?
Can't do that.
Okay. I mean, if more than 2.
If you want to talk, it would violate the rules of the interview.
Like, he's actually going to be the one, the lead investigator on the case.
If I sign a waiver and there's 10 there.
No, but we'll have a multiple body.
But his body cam, it ain't even on right now.
Yeah, it is. What that red light is.
So,
he hasn't put his in stealth mode. He might not.
yeah, show us where he goes. Come on, stand up. We'll walk back there.
Doesn't lie to me.
Come on, guys.
No, you're.
So,
Come on.
Mickey, nothing's
There's 2 body cams right.
Yo, look at this. They're negotiating with this dude. He just shot a judge. They saw it. They saw it on camera. Like, hey, come on down here with us, man. We're just gonna take you down there real quick. Don't worry about it.
So that will look the guy and show you that it's running. Look,
Come on.
we've known each other a long time. Look, it is recorded.
And
Platinum's recorded.
Mickey, like I said, we've known each other. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, okay? Oh, yeah, let's.
I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, okay? Man, get this out. Y'all go watch this over on Amy's channel. This is disgusting, man. These dudes, sometimes, listen, I love what police officers do for the community. There's a lot of them that do some good work, but this type of man, it angers me. Can we be consistent, please? Golly, man. Amy said they know someone was bound to pop a cap. This is really disturbing to see how chill and relaxed these guys are. This dude should be on the ground, handcuffed behind his back. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but this is just, let me know what y'all think, man. This is wild. Wild, 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 wild. I don't know how else to say it. Amy said it gets worse. Y'all please go watch that video over on Amy's channel. Absolutely disgusting. Let me put Judge Whitaker up here as we get into our next topic. Amy says they go into full negotiation later than the video. Yeah, you can negotiate with these handcuffs. What you mean negotiation? Ask him if he wants blue or orange. Which one you want? We rocking the blue today or you want the orange? We'll give you a choice. Get out of here. Hey, y'all, you got me about to cuss on the morning show. I don't even cuss like that. All right, it's time. We got to talk about Cash Out. Boy, oh boy. Atlanta rapper Cash Out getting his sentencing today for this insane indictment. He's got RICO. He's got trafficking. He's got pimping. I know. It's wild, y'all. And we're going to find out what actually went down. We're going to see and hear from Cash Out himself an explanation of why he did what he did, what was going on. And I got to read to you guys what he's looking at, what he's facing. Atlanta rapper Cash Out, whose real name is John Michael Gibson, has been found guilty of several charges, including assault, aggravated sodomy, trafficking, pimping, and violating the RICO Act. Y'all know Fannie does not miss an opportunity to charge someone with RICO. Here's what Cash Out had to say. Shout out to Mr. Matthews. Boy, this was a tough one for them. Shout out to the Honorable Attorney Matthews, but what a client he had here. Jeez.
Good morning today, Your Honor. Good morning. I want to start out by thanking you for giving us a fair trial. I want to thank the jurors for the amount of time that they put in to judge this trial.
This ain't YSL, bro. All that thinking ain't gonna help you.
This time being on this trial, I was able to see how the jurors are put in a tough position to, you know, sit there and judge someone's life, you know. And, you know, it's a hard decision, and I felt like they made the wrong judgment.
The jurors got it wrong.
I've done things in my life. I'm not perfect. But the things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things. I know it's typical for a person to come up here and, you know, show remorse to, you know, crimes that they have done, but I can only show remorse to the people that I know that was in this trial, which is Kiara Adams, Deanna Sanders, and Jasmine Brown. Not remorse on behalf of like I did anything to them, because if you know me, and people who really know me know that I wouldn't force anybody to do anything. I met women, I dated women who were doing escort or whatever, however people want to look at it from a moral standpoint, but who was doing these things as a grown woman. I've only dealt with grown women.
That's fair.
Nothing was forced. Nothing was coerced or anything of that nature. If you notice before this trial, no woman can say anything about me before this trial. If you notice before this indictment, no woman can say anything about me before this indictment.
Miss Love is like, boy, if you don't get up out of here.
That people are put in when they're faced with a certain type of crime or a certain type of time, and they're bullied into this situation.
You got Matthew Jr.
Put the blame
over there.
on someone, or to put the blame on Cash Out, or to put the blame on someone who's at the top. That's why I didn't really fault them for their decision. I didn't fault Deanna Sanders for making her decision during the proffer. She just had a child. Mind you, she was just on video call with me while being incarcerated. I don't fault Kiara Adams for doing the things she did with her proffer, because mind you, she was facing a certain amount of time handling her probation in different cases that she's on. I don't fault people for making accusations, because I'm a man that typically let women leave on their own behalf. Never held them in prison or held them in slavery or said, you can't leave me, or you can't do this. Every woman you've seen come on this stand
showed
you that they left and came back willingly on their own. What I mean by that, they left on their own and they came back willingly on their own. During this trial, I was able to see, you know, how valuable life is and how valuable the people that you hang around, or the people that you even date, or the people that you even know, how valuable it is to judge their character. Sometimes I let people stay around who I knew was going to affect a situation that I had going on. So I don't, and for the people who came to this trial that I never met a day in my life, never had any contact with them, never had a text message with them, never had an interaction with them, don't even know where most of these stories came from, is baffling. Never forced a woman to commit a sexual act. Never. I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you would never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything sexual or commit a rape with anybody. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature.
Well,
I feel like and somebody asked me this the other day. It was like, every time I see your head high and you always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence and you know you can be falsely accused of things, Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't.
Oh no, man. Brother, this man saying he was Jesus. He was around the unfortunate and sharing the good news with them. Jesus hang out with the prostitutes. I was hanging out with them just like Jesus was. Come on now, Cash Out. What are we doing?
You don't have that emotion like you've done something.
Yo, leave Jesus out of this.
So if you've seen me with my head high, or if you've seen me smiling, it's because
let him cook, man.
I know at the end of the day, through Jesus Christ, the Most High will always give you the actual judgment. So I really thank you for providing us a fair trial. Just me getting to know you during trial, I was like, you know, she's just a judge. But when you sit 12 people in that panel and you know, have them, you know, judge our lives and put them in a position to judge our lives, you know, it takes you back to, once again, the Bible, when people had to judge these prophets' lives. And I say, if you know me, you actually know me. There's plenty of people that know me in this world. There's plenty of people that know me in this jail. There's plenty of people that know me where I'm from. Like I said, once again, I'm not perfect. I come from certain areas. I come from, you know, certain environments. I come from doing things in my past life before the music.
Keep it moving,
I'm here to tell you that.
What are we doing here?
If you sat in this trial and you paid attention to this trial, before these dates, no woman could ever say, I've done those things to them. Before these dates, you can go on my Instagram and see these women enjoying themselves, having their own things, living their own life. Before these dates, I can say you had these women that never had anything to say about me. Before this indictment, before the RICO, you had these women actually talking to me while I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated for 4 years, and these women are interacting with me. These women who took the stand and supposedly scared of me, or monsters, or I'm a monster, or took these proffers. This wasn't the case before they was indicted. So from my perspective, I feel like some people can get bullied into a situation that they really don't want to do. And I'm sitting here just holding my head high and just, you know, feeling that one day the truth will come out. One day the truth will come out on my situation. One day the truth will come out on this rape allegation, that these things never happened. And when you see a person get up on that stand and put their hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that means you have to be perfect, like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me because I...
No, this is so Atlanta. Look at this. Look at the face of this officer. She said, bro, what?
That means you have to be perfect, like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw.
Look at this.
And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me.
I can hear it. I can hear it in my mind. She said,
because I had flaws in my life. So you have to tell the complete truth on that stand. And I got up there and see people put their hand on that Bible and not tell the complete truth. And that's baffling. But at the end of the day, I put my trust in the Most High. I put my trust in the universe to bring out the truth. To bring out the truth of these people who made these allegations. To me, it's like you have no heart. You have no heart. And I know people want me to stay in line or walk a toe, but when you're speaking something truthfully and you're speaking from the heart and you know that this is not your character, something must be said. And I just wanted to address the court and give my perspective on the things that I felt during this trial and the judgment that I felt that the jurors gave us was not the correct judgment. And it was show. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, man. Tragic. Well, let's find out what the judge thought about that moving forward. They're all coming back into the courtroom, and the judge is going to decide what this fine gentleman, this man of God, is going to get. Lord have mercy. We got Cash Out. We got Mama Cash Out. We got all of them up in there. We got Tyrone Taylor.
You ready? Okay.
Hallelujah, says Amy. Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is embarrassing.
During the course of this trial, the court heard and viewed evidence demonstrating the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. The jury verdict in this case reflects that the state met its burden in proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred.
Diabolical.
The sentencing to be meted out by this court will be responsive to that. Mr. John Michael Hakeem Gibson, would you please stand? Okay.
She finna throw the whole book at this
On
man.
count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act.
Rico's
20
count 1.
years to serve in confinement, to run consecutive with count 10.
Oh!
On count 10, rape. Life in confinement.
Oh!
Count 12, aggravated sodomy. Life in confinement to run concurrent with count 10.
Okay, so 2 life sentences, concurrent. That's
Count
nice.
22, trafficking a person for sexual servitude. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1. Count
That's 40
23,
right there, plus life.
trafficking a person for sexual servitude. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 22.
Oh, that's 60.
Count 24 on the lesser included offense of battery. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10.
Okay. 60
Count
plus 2
25.
lives.
Possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 23. Count 26, pimping. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10.
He ain't never getting out.
Count 27, pandering. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10.
Goodness.
Count 28, keeping a place of prostitution. 12 months to serve
Trap
in
house.
confinement to run concurrent with count 10.
Oh my goodness.
Count 29, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 30, simple battery, merges into count 24, battery. Count 45, possession of prohibited items by an inmate. 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 25. Conditions of this sentence: no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, to include Diamond Irvin or their families.
Yeah, and for those of you who are kind of trying to keep track right now, we're about 60 plus years with 2 life sentences. Yes. Pretty light. My.
You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta.
What?
You are to stay away from the Mezzo condominium, 2171 Peachtree.
He's not going
You
anywhere.
are to stay away from the St. George's Commons address, and you are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor.
Oh yeah, Mama and all them about to get convicted. Tyrone Taylor too.
You may be seated.
Yo, he ain't never getting out. Ever.
Counsel, please stand.
Okay, here goes Mama.
As to count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement. Count 37, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 10 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive to count 1.
There's 30.
You're to have no contact with any of the victims, including Diamond Irvin, named in this indictment, or their families.
Goodness.
You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road, the Mezzo at 2171 Peachtree Road, the address at the St. George's Commons, 9340, and the FIB, Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. You may be seated.
All right, so Mama got 30.
All right, Mr. Taylor.
Tyrone Taylor, what's he gonna get?
On count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act.
He is running the
20
trap
years
house.
to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 9. Count 9, rape. Life in confinement. Count 11, aggravated sodomy. Life in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 13, trafficking a person for sexual servitude. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1.
What's that? 40? I lost count.
15, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 13.
Oh my goodness.
Count 16, false imprisonment. 10 years to serve in confinement.
Okay, so that's 40, 40, 50.
With count 15. Count 17, pandering by compulsion. 10 years to serve in confinement to run concurrent.
Okay.
With count 9.
So that's still 50.
Count 18, possession of cocaine. 3 years to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 19, tampering with evidence. 12 months to serve in confinement.
Oh, what happened there?
To run concurrent with count 9. Count 20, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer by use of threats or violence. 10 years to serve to run concurrent with count 9 and a suspended fine of $300. You're to have no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, nor are you to have any contact with Diamond or Irvin or any of their families.
Wow.
You are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor.
You got to register?
You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta. You are to stay away from the Mezzo address at 2171 Peachtree Road and the address at the St. George Commons, 9340. You register as a sex offender. And that is the sentence of this court. You may be seated.
My goodness.
Mr. Gibson, Ms. Smith, and Mr. Taylor, I have to give you some post-conviction rights that you have, all right? You may remain seated while I give you these rights, okay? You need to know that you have the right to seek post-judgment relief from your conviction.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that. They ain't never getting out. Judge, let them go. Jeez, God. This is bad. So let me see. So we've got, oh man. Cash Out got 60 plus 2 life sentences. His mom, she got about 30 of them things. Will she get out? I have no idea. She's going to have to register amongst other things. And then you've got Tyrone Taylor. He got life and then a 50 on top of that. Oh my gosh. You know what they say? Say it with me. If you're going to do the crime, you got to do the... Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. Wow. I got to sneeze. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Can y'all imagine? And Cash Out, he's just sitting there like, yeah, what's going on? What we doing? Insane. I got to sneeze again. Hopefully y'all didn't hear that. I'm praying Fanny gets what's coming to her. Fanny is thank you. Oh, did y'all heard that? And Amy said cash in. Yeah, Fanny needs to lay low for a while, and it seems like she has been, because with Trump in office, it's only a matter of time before he starts looking into things over there. He's going to have to. I don't believe in life sentence for not aliving charges, but I don't know in this case. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a reason we didn't cover it. We were initially going to cover it. Cameras got kicked out because people weren't doing what they were supposed to, so we didn't get to see all that. We have the sentencing here. Crazy. Thank y'all for liking the video. All 1,300 of you that liked the video. Special thank you to everyone who went the extra mile and sent in super chats. We had Les Cleaver in there, of course, major sponsor of today's show. Slim Life, CPE, Kara Hampton, as always. She said, thanks for the reminder. I like the video. And then, of course, my awesome, amazing Amy in here as well. Thank y'all for the love and support. You know we will be back here tomorrow, as we always do. We do not miss on the show. So if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that we go live or drop a new video. Like the video on your way out. And as always, y'all know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gone. Peace.